talk about bungee jumping. You might be thinking, what does bungee jumping have to do with network marketing? What does it have to do with business? More than you would actually imagine. So first of all, I gotta know, is there anybody else out there that's wild and crazy like myself? Maybe you have done bungee jumping or want to. Maybe you've done skydiving, walked on fire, swam with sharks, driven a race car. Anybody else into wild and crazy stuff? I love all those things and I really like doing it whenever I go on vacation or go someplace fun. You know, it's a great way to kind of let your hair down. But tonight we are going to talk about bungee jumping. So here's the story. So I am sitting there, we are getting ready, we're in Cancun, Mexico. I'm sitting there, we're getting ready to board this ferry. The ferry is gonna take us to a different island called Isla Mujeres, which is a beautiful, beautiful place. And while I'm there, I see this thing that I've always wanted to do, which is bungee jumping, right? And it is this thing, it's, I don't know, 75 feet high. It goes way up in the air. There's a platform that's up there, and basically you climb up and you strap yourself in and you jump off and down you go, and you can go touch the water, and it's really, really cool. So I'm sitting there in line thinking, oh, I really want to do that, right? And I see a girl, and this girl decides she's going to go do this. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be good. So she starts climbing up there, and she walks up to the platform. Now, normally you go face forward, but she decided to go backwards. So I see her, and she's there, and she's at the edge of the platform, and she's backing up, and she's backing up a little bit more, and a little bit more, and you can see her feet hanging off the edge of this platform. And I don't know about you, but like my heart was starting to pound for this girl. I'm excited and I like to do wild and crazy stuff, but at the same token, I'm like, you know, it's that moment, right? And so in an instant, literally her life changed. She did this beautiful angel fall off the platform, went down, touched the water, and then of course came bouncing back up. And it was amazing. And you know, you might be thinking like, what? Like, that's great, Summer, but like, what does that have to do with network marketing, right? There's actually a lot. When I was 20, for my husband's 21st birthday, I said, hey, we're gonna go someplace, just, you know, bring this kind of clothes, and then we're gonna go someplace later and bring this kind of clothes. And I took him to a skydiving place, and I blindfolded him, and it was crazy. And then of course he got to take the blindfold off and go through the tutorial and learn all about it. But it's amazing. So it's wild, right? Whether you're skydiving, whether you're walking on fire. Anybody ever been to a UPW with Tony Robbins? Okay. This literally, they bring these hot coals in. I don't know what they cook these things up to, but they are red, like literally they're red hot. And 2 times I've had the glorious opportunity to walk across hot coals, and it's been amazing. But here's what all this is about, and how does this actually relate to our business? Here was the epiphany. Here was the wild thing that I took away. Whatever you're doing in life, you're going to get to a moment where like the whole world stops. It's a moment of truth. It's a moment where anything can change, anything can happen in your life. And you can decide whether you're going to go forward and do the thing that you set out to do when you got started, or whether you're going to say, oh, you know, I don't know, oh, and your head starts to start filling your mind with nonsense, right? It starts to say things that would, you know, give you doubt, like, oh, you can't do this because of that, or, you know, nobody else in your family has done this, or who do you think you are? You get all kinds of stuff that can bombard you in between your ears, right? But you have this moment of truth, this moment just kind of between you and yourself where you're like, am I going to really do this? Before you jump off out of the plane, certainly before you jump off of the high dive on a bungee cord, before you put that first foot on the hot coals, before you get into the seat of a race car and you start to slam on the gas, before all of that. And you know what? Your life can change in a moment. Your life can change in an instant. Think about it. Someone goes up to the altar and they say, I do. Their life is forever changed, right? The moment that you decide, you know, I'm going to do this. The moment you have that moment of truth with yourself where you decide there is no going back, literally no going back, that, I've had enough, right? Maybe you've got to a spot in your life where you're like, enough is enough. I'm sick of, living to the demands of my boss. I'm sick of working for the man. I'm sick of doing this. I'm sick of doing that. I'm sick of seeing my family live a certain way, right? Where you have this moment where you decide. It's your moment of truth. And it's crazy because it's those moments of truth that everything changes in your life. Anything is possible. Anything can happen. And it doesn't take 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 years. It doesn't take forever to come up to something. Have you ever seen someone become a non-smoker? Well, they decided. Have you ever seen someone do something amazing in their life? It was a moment where they decided, right? And that is no different for you in your business. You are going to have to do some things where you get some leverage on yourself. What's leverage? Okay. What's in you that's worth fighting for? What's in you that says, you know what? My dreams and goals are worth it. We got two different things, right? We have the carrot, the thing that we're going for, and we have the stick, right? We have pleasure and we have pain. We have the things that we want and the things that we hate, the things that we're like, we do not want to see any more of this in our life, right? And I don't know what's going to drive you. I know one of the things that drove me and my husband, it's funny because I came across this picture, I was looking for it. And this is a picture of my husband's home where he grew up, okay? I'm going to show it to you guys. And this was one of the things that drove us. I don't know if you can see that, but literally that's where he grew up. His family lived there in an impoverished part of Mexico and didn't have much and, grew the vegetables in the land and literally was the type of family that you would see where you see sponsor this child for $1 a day. Myself, I grew up with a mom, single mom, Bay Area, California, super expensive. We didn't have much, but we scraped it together and made it by. And these were the type of things that drove us. It's because we had enough pain in our life, enough leverage in our life where we said, enough is enough. We're jumping off the high dive. We're taking that first step and putting it on the coals. We're, jumping out of the airplane. We're doing this. We're not going back. We're cutting the ties and we're moving forward because we've had enough of the nonsense. We've had enough of the heartache. We've had enough of the drama. We've had enough of all of these things that we don't want to see in our life. And because of that, we've been able to now see amazing things happen. It's crazy. So my birthday was last Friday. My husband's like, yeah, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? How can we make it special? I'm like, well, where I really want to go is Cancun. And what I really want to do is, snorkel and swim with sharks and do these wild things. And he's like, let's go. And because we made that decision just a few short years ago, our life is forever changed. And I don't know where you're at. I don't know what you're coming from. I don't know what you had going on. I don't know what your moment of truth is going to be. But I do know that just like the girl that stood on the top of that high dive, on that platform, many, many feet up in the air, where her little heels are hanging off, my heart's beating fast for her. I'm like, is she gonna do it, right? And she did. And she overcame the voice in her head. She overcame the fear. She overcame anything else that could have possibly held her back. She committed and she went forward. And that's how your business has got to be. It doesn't have to be that way, but you can choose to make it that way. You can choose to decide. Because here's what most people do. They say, hey, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to, get this party started. I'm going to get the plane off the ground. And they decide to go ahead and, put the plane in gear and start cruising down the runway. And they're cruising and they're cruising. And they roll right off the runway and say, if I just keep going, if I just keep going. No, you got to apply pedal to the metal, massive pressure, massive intense focus, massive intensity so that you can get that plane off the ground. And so I hope that you're at a spot right now, this day, this time, where you've come to your moment of truth, where you're going to say that enough is enough. You're going to say, hey, enough of that. I know what's capable for me and my family, and I'm going to go get it. And you know how you know what's capable? Think about other people in your business. Think about other people in your company. Think about people that maybe are your leaders or your mentors. And you know that they've done it. You've seen where they came from. You've heard their story a gazillion times. You're like, shoot, if they can do it, you can do it. Why not you? And why not now? I don't know if you remember, this was like a few years ago. Do you guys remember the bracelets? They would say, what would Jesus do, right? WWJD, right? WWJD. Do you remember those? Anybody remember those? They came out like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. They came out a while ago, right? And sometimes we have to say like, you have to pick somebody that you want to be like in your business. Maybe it's a leader, maybe it's a mentor, maybe it's someone that hit the top level in your company. And you have to say, what would they do in this scenario? Like, if I want to be like them, if I want to have a life like them, what would I need to do to make that happen in my life? And there's a couple of things that I want to share with you that has helped me kind of go through this process and go through this journey. So the first one is you have got to get some leverage on yourself. Get some leverage on yourself. Like what I shared with you in the picture and the background and the things that I came from. What is it for you that's going to push you over the finish line? What is it for you that's going to make you put that first foot on, the firewalk or to jump out of the plane? What is it for you that's going to be your starting point? That's going to be your leverage. And that's going to be the thing that you have to hold with you, because there's going to be a moment of truth that you have with yourself where you're like, I'm going to do this. This is my time. Let's go for it. But then that emotion's going to go away. So what do we have to do? We have to focus on the person that you want to become. Who do you want to be like? What kind of things do you want to see take place in your life? You got to think about that. Because sometimes we just focus on the stuff and the actions and the doing. But when we focus on the person that we want to become, it starts to bubble up out of you. Like, it doesn't become a struggle. Like, okay, for example, one of the things that I had dealt with for many, many years was, dealing with my weight, right? And so, you start to think a little differently. And so, you think about who are people that you want to be like, right? And you have to say, like, would they go to the refrigerator for brownies at 10 o'clock at night? Probably not, right? Probably not. And so we have to start thinking about, the person that we want to become. And when we focus on, hey, what's our leverage? What's the point, whether it's pain or pleasure, what's pushing us or what's pulling us, right? What is that? What's the person that we want to become? Who is that person? And the last part is walking it out daily. What are you going to do daily that's going to change your life forever? Because it's not some huge catastrophic thing that you're going to do. It's the little things. And the same is true whether it's for your health, whether it's for your relationships, whether it's for your business, whether it's for your finances, right? Whatever it is, what are you going to do daily that's going to change your life? Because it's not like all or nothing. It's not like you're going to go like, I'm building my business. It's awesome, right? And then the next day you fall off the wagon, right? No, it's a consistent thing that you're going to do day in, day out, day in, day out. And I'm just wondering, I'm just curious. Do you know what that thing is for you in your business right now? Do you know what it is? Whatever it is your goal, whether it's your network marketing goal, whether it's your health and fitness goal, whether it's your relationship goal, do you know what that thing is? If you do, and you're open, hey, put it down. Maybe it's contacting more people. Hey, maybe it's getting out of bed in the morning and rolling into them gym shoes, right? Maybe it's, busting through some fears, overcoming a fear of talking to people, overcoming a fear of, approaching new people, right? Whatever the case may be. Once you know what it is, then you can focus on it and then you can do it. And you know what? Earlier this year, there was something that I put together that was really designed for people like yourself that want to go to the next level in their business, that, are sick of the mediocrity that surrounds us. And you know that there's more inside of you. You know that you're capable of more and you can start seeing more in your life. And if that's you and you're ready to get to the finish line, you're ready to be included as part of the club of the top earners in your company, as one of the top income earners, as one of the people that breaks ranks in your business, that helps your team, that earns bonus cars, that wins free trips, that's you. And you're ready. And you're like, okay, it's my moment of truth. I'm ready to do this. Then I have something that will help you. If you click on the link that's listed here in the description, it is going to take you off of here, but it's going to take you to an extra bonus training. And that is the 10 steps for rank advancing, your 10 steps to finally receiving your breakthrough. It's really about you clearing out a lot of the things that happen in our mind, the things that we do on a daily basis that hold us back, getting rid of that, getting it out of your life so that you can start have a plan and a vision and a focus on what you need to do to move forward. So that is my free gift to you guys. It's been great hanging out with you, great spending time with you. Hope you are doing awesome. I hope you like this. I mean, for me, I just remember sitting there seeing the girls' feet hanging off that platform. I'm like, oh my gosh, how true is that for us in our life, where we have those moments where we just decide, hey, enough is enough. We're gonna do this. We're gonna make that commitment. And when you get to that point in your life, and you know when you get there, because the things that maybe were a temptation for you in the past, maybe would knock you off, off your flow in the past, they start to disappear. Like they don't even matter because you're so laser focused on what you want to see happen in your life. You're so laser focused on the person that you want to become and the things that you want to see taking place. And definitely let me know if you had an aha moment here. Perhaps you're a speed racer. Perhaps you like to do wild and crazy things. Or perhaps, you had a moment where you're like, you know what? I was missing that. I've had things that have come and gone in my life where I felt like I was ready to commit. I felt like I had that moment of truth, but then the emotion passed and I didn't walk it out. Whatever it was, the 3 tips are: get some leverage on yourself, right? Focus on the person that you want to become, and what are you going to do daily to see that change take place in your life. So that is it, my friends. Take care, be blessed. Feel free to share the replay, and I will see y'all next time. For more great training and to receive your free bonus training, the 10-step process for getting out of your own way and finally rank advancing, visit summerjeronimo.com.